would your 10-year-old self be proud of the person you are today?
Okay.
Whoa. It's such an emotional question. Oh my god, I'm just like really emotional thinking about it.
I feel like for me, I think I would be proud. I think my 10-year-old self would have been proud of how much I've grown. But I think in the position of where I'm at in life, maybe not so much.
I feel like a lot of the people I know, they're like, oh, I know this friend. I've been friends with this person since I was 10. But if I were to look back, I don't have anyone like that.
The only advice I would say is just tell your parents you love them more, especially your dad. Tell him you love him more.
Hi, it's Shin.
Hi kiddies, Qamelya here.
What's up? I'm BD Shahid.
Hello everybody, it's Syafiy, and for this episode, we'll be talking about advices we would give to our 10-year-old selves.
What would you say to your 10-year-old self?
I thought long and hard about this.
Okay,
actually.
go.
Do you wanna go?
Yeah, I can go. You know, when I was looking through old photos on Facebook, on my parents' Facebook, because that's where all our old photos are. I was like, what was my life back then, and like how was my mindset or like way of thinking back then? My number one advice to my 10-year-old self would be like, be more authentic and be more true to yourself, because I think I did things more to stand out, more than I did things that I liked. I danced because I liked it, and I danced like my whole Chonghua life, my whole school life back then, and I really liked it. And that was that one thing I actually enjoyed doing. But I feel like I would say to myself, like, you know, you don't need to fight to be the leader of your class or the monitor of your class, you know. If you like dancing, just do it. Then, just do what you like. And I think that would be my number one advice to my younger self, like, be more authentic. I don't know if you guys can relate to that.
Actually, I can relate to, you have the passion for dancing. Like for me back then, when I was 10, this is the time that I discovered Photoshop. I was 10. I was 9 lah. I was 9, 10. This is the time I discovered Photoshop, and I actually really liked it. I actually really enjoyed it. And the advice that I would give to myself would be, just stay true to your passion. Okay? If this is something that you like, then just go for it. And I'm really glad that happened when I was 10, because I know, like, for sure there were a lot of hard times that I had to go through, and staying true to this passion really helps me to go through these things lah. So when I get really upset, when I get really sad, I go to Photoshop, I do my stuff, I do my my wildest imaginations.
It's your
on
outlet.
Photoshop. Yeah, it's my outlet. Yeah,
And it worked out, right?
And it worked out. Yeah, and like the things that I do in Photoshop, like I still do it now. It's like,
Was the photo that they showed one of them?
yes,
Because that was pretty good, and I didn't even know Photoshop existed that long
then.
ago. But
really long
wow.
ago. Yeah, so back then that's why I was really into Photoshop. As you can see in the photo for the Are You Smarter Than a Fifth Grader episode, I was 13, 14 at that time, and I was really active with Photoshop at that time lah. So I was exploring a lot of things. I was doing a lot of I tried to challenge my creativity as well on Photoshop, so that helps me go through a lot of hard times just using Photoshop, just letting out my imaginations, and it really turns out okay for me. Like I still use it up until now. I use it to like get side income as well, so that turns out fine for me. So yeah, the advice I would give to myself is stay true to your passion. If it helps for you to get through hard times, then just do it. If you like it, you whatever you do
Yeah, for sure. I mean, in terms of advice to myself back then, like something that I do regret now, I feel like I really wished I had stuck with like my languages. Like Chinese, for example, it's so much more difficult learning it now.
Yeah.
So I like that's an advice I would give to other Chinese people who like, how do I say, back then when I was younger, learning it was so difficult that, you know, as a child you just want to stop. Anything too difficult, you're just like, I don't want to do it. It's too hard. Like mom and dad is forcing me, whatever, you know, you give yourself those excuses that you just don't want to do it. But then you realize years later how useful languages can be. Even Malay, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like now you realize that we all revolve around languages now, right? And I think with Chinese, it's so universal now that even other like white people know how to speak Chinese already, and I'm still like, I can't read it. Like I can, but not enough lah, not as much as I wish it was. So I think that's my advice lah, to continue with languages, to continue with your Chinese especially. It's difficult, but you will not regret it. If anything, it has opened up it opens up doors as well. You become more friendly with like people at work or certain business owners or etc. You make a whole different world of networking when you learn a different language, you know? It's the same for like Malay, where I may not have that connection with like some bigger Malay clients or whatever, you know. It just works. Languages just bring people closer somehow.
True.
Yeah.
Okay, what about you, BD?
I did think about this, and it's like, okay, if I'm 10 years old, would I understand the advice that older me would give to myself? Like, if I said, hey man, don't try to save your money a little bit, I'm gonna be like, no. Not only am I gonna be like, no, it's not like I had a lot of money like growing up anyway, but like for example, right? Am I gonna tell myself, hey, don't buy Resident Evil 3 for your birthday? I'm like, so you don't want me to have like that core memory of me like playing Resident Evil 3 for my birthday, and some of the people that were there at that birthday, I'm still friends like with them. So it's like, I would say advice I would have is, you're gonna be okay. You're gonna be fine. You know, when you're like 10 years old and you have this obsession with martial arts, like you love karate, you love judo, and people kind of like make fun of you for it. And it's like years later, yeah, that's the UFC right now. You know, so all these things that you were kind of made fun of for, or like you're seen as weird or different. You like Dragon Ball Z? What a loser. And it's like, that's still popping like 25 years later. Like, it's even more popular now. The only advice I would say is just tell your parents you love them more. Especially your dad. Tell him you love him more.
Looking for delicious American fusion grub? Try my wife's bodega. Savor their best sellers: Latin-inspired quesadilla tacos, Asian American crab rangoon with a real crab meat, and a refreshing homemade ginger ale. My wife's bodega, serving up America's favorite comfort food. You can place a pre-order from a link in their Instagram page. Terms and conditions apply.
Would your 10-year-old self be proud of the person you are today?
Okay.
Whoa. Such an emotional question. Oh my god, I'm just like really emotional thinking about it. Qamelya?
I would say yes, because you know, you've been through what you've been through for a reason. Yeah. And like, no matter what hardships you're in now or have been through before, you know, there were so many good in your life, I would say. So I would say yes, my younger self would be proud of me because I made it this far, at least. Yeah.
Alhamdulillah.
Yeah, really. At least I'm here now. I'm doing this podcast with new people. Yeah. So I think I would be super proud of myself for evolving at least, and I've never stopped evolving.
To answer that question, yes, super proud. Yeah, almost the same thing, like, because I feel like I went through a lot growing up as well, and I feel like Chana, like I became an adult too early. That's what I would say, because I started working at a young age. I didn't really have a lot of my teenager time, and if I were to if I were still a kid and thinking about my future, I wouldn't have thought that I'd be here now, and I wouldn't have thought I would have this job. I wouldn't thought would have been a lecturer. So there's a lot of things that's happening now that I'm really grateful for, that I wouldn't have thought I would be doing when I was 10, and I feel like with all the hardships that I went through, I'm really grateful for that as well, because it helps me to it helps to shape me, the person that I am today with all those hardships. That's also what I've been doing for like the past year. I've been trying to kind of like bring my younger self back to the light. So my latest birthday, I edited myself with my younger self. You remember that? Yeah, I edited myself with my younger self just to like I wanted people to kind of like visualize my younger self and I, and like the things that we went through together, and how proud he must have been for me. And yeah, I'm super proud. I mean, my younger self would be super proud of me.
Yeah.
I feel like for me, I think I would be proud. I think my 10-year-old self would have been proud of how much I've grown. But I think in the position of where I'm at in life, maybe not so much. But in terms of personal character, for sure. I think back then I used to be so afraid of like what people thought of me. I was so insecure in my own self.
Yeah.
I definitely have grown into somebody that doesn't care basically at all. Like, I do what I want. You like me, you don't like me, that's okay. I've grown in that in terms of character I feel. And I'm definitely I definitely would have been proud of myself, like growing. Like, you back then you would have never thought it was possible type thing, So then once you have done it and you are that now, you're like, wow, like you actually realize like, okay, like you did it, right? I mean, when I was younger, you always dream. Well, for me, my parents haven't been our business owners. I always thought I would have had my own business already.
Yeah.
So I think in my mind now, that one would have been like, okay, it's okay. I've still got a lot of years ahead of me, that it's never too late to open a business. But I think back then, probably when I was 10, I was already thinking I should have a business when I'm like 25 already, But yeah.
If I was talking to like my 10-year-old self, like if we were literally looking at each other, just be like, wow, just being at the age, and I think everyone has like a similar experience of like not really being too comfortable in your own shoes because of either like your physical appearance or just like peer pressures of like your surrounding audience. But just the type of life that I'm living now as an adult, and like as an older adult, like it's like you're still that same kid, but you're just an adult with responsibilities, and like you're handling your responsibilities. I'm talking to my 10-year-old self, like, yeah, man, like you're married with a beautiful wife and she loves you. I'm gonna be like, wow, girls like me, like that would be like my like reaction. But yeah, definitely just the type of like man you've turned into. Just everyone around you is going to be like so proud of you. So
If you were to go back in time and be your 10-year-old self with all the knowledge you have now, would you do anything different?
I would stick with my Chinese. For sure.
There's going to be something called Bitcoin that's going to come up. Save up for that.
Yeah.
I think I would have maintained like friendships or like just relationships with other people more, because I think I lost a lot of opportunities in that sense. I feel like a lot of the people I know, they're like, oh, I know this friend. I've been friends with this person since I was 10. But if I were to look back, I don't have anyone like that. I wouldn't say, oh, I've known that person since I was 10 or 12 or 13. I don't have that person like other people. And I don't think sampai sekarang, I'm not that good at maintaining like relationships with people, or like friendships rather. I think I would try to be better in that sense, because I think it is like really nice to have those people to look back to, like, we went through
Your
this
old
when
friends,
when we were younger. So I think that's really on me, right? So I was like, but
Okay.
I think
We live and
I
we
came
learn.
to terms with it already. But I would have.
To really answer that question, I would say no. I wouldn't have done anything differently. I feel like, because I also believe in takdir. So like whatever happens, good or bad, it happened for a reason. If I would have done something different back then, like I don't think I would have turned out to be the person that I am now. Yeah. What about you, BD?
Yeah, like nothing, like I do have the friends where I've known them since I was like 10, even younger. So shout out to Annie, Jenny, Jose, Chris, day ones. Like, and we're still friends till this day, So yeah, I wouldn't really change anything because the end result is good.
Yeah, I agree to that as well. Okay, yes, so that is all we have for this episode. Does anyone have a conclusion?
I feel like even though
it's more negative, right? When you think about your past, I feel like we were more we remember more of the negative side of it.
True.
But
Obviously,
really, like
you obviously wish there was things you could have done.
Yep.
But I wouldn't say there's anything we regret.
Yeah.
Right? There's always things that everyone wants to change when they were younger. You don't realize this, you don't realize that. But the person that we are today, we're still good. You know what I mean? Everything's still okay. So whatever we've done before has made us who we are. And that's not a bad thing, right? Everybody can evolve. Everybody can still change, even years later, even however old you are. So, yeah, we may have made whatever mistakes that we had, but I don't have any regrets. Yeah, because they can always still be changed now.
True.
Be who you are.
Yeah.
Live your life to the fullest, no matter what it is. I feel like that's important. No matter how old you are, live your life to the fullest.
Yeah. You have anything to say, BD?
Yeah, just stay to yourself. Be true to yourself. Be strong. Whatever your pursuit of happiness is, you stay on that path. There's going to be challenges along the way, but keep a good crowd of people around you who are going to be positive and motivate
supportive.
you along the way. Very supportive. A support system is a lot more important than you think.
Okay, guys, so that is all we have for this episode. If you have anything to comment, anything you would advise your 10-year-old self, do leave a comment down below. Thank you everyone for watching. So don't forget to subscribe, like, and comment. We'll see you in the next episode. Bye.
Peace.